Well, how's everybody doing there? Um, Welcome to we've been going for about 4 weeks now. Um, and we're now getting ready to start incorporating our feet into things. So we're starting to move forward a little. Apologize, I had that last video came out late. It should have came out it should have came out 2 weeks after the first lesson. Um, I made a mistake and said next week, but it really should have been 2 weeks. And then this video was supposed to come out 2 weeks after that. Um, but we were on vacation. I had some computer issues and I couldn't get the video up. So it got kind of pushed. So I apologize for that. And now we are, like I said, we've moved on to um, our first next step, I guess you could say. Before we do that, though, we've been going for just about a month now, and it's kind of time to check our speed and see where we're at. Excuse me. In this amount of time, we should have moved up a little bit in our BPMs, 5 or 10 beats per minute, or 5 or 10 beats per minute. We should have probably moved up a little. Uh, so we're going to be analyzing and see where we are with that. Are we ready to move the speed up, or are we do we need to bring the speed down? Have we not moved anywhere? Kind of see where we're at with it. And again, if you find that you're able to go a lot faster, use the 100 bar method that we talked about in the last video before completely tackling a certain BPM structure. But if you're not moving up in speed right now, that's something that we can think about too, as far as you can put a couple comments in or do some self-analyzing. A lot of times it's going to come down to either you're not practicing long enough or you're practicing with a flaw in the technique. So just kind of analyze the situation, see what you're doing, and like I said, you can shoot some comments if you need to. And that's about that. We just wanted to kind of cover the speed bump because now that we've been around for a bit, so we're going to get ready and now move on to what's going to be the actual meat of this lesson. What's the new big thing? What are we revealing? All right, everybody. So here's going to be the new thing. It's actually a pretty simple thing that we're going to do. We're going to incorporate our feet now, and we're just going to add the right foot on the one. That's it. It's the only new thing we're adding right now. This is going to help us do a couple things, though. Number one, it's going to help us to start coordinating our hands and feet together. But two, and almost even more important, it's going to keep us aware of the count. Because now we know that we need a right foot on one, so we need to know where one is all the time. So we're going to be a lot more aware of the count and where the count is. It's a slow start for some of you guys out there who are intermediate. You might be kind of like, I guess this is turning out to be a little bit, I wanted to go slow enough so everybody could participate, and I guess it is more of a beginning course, and I think I did call it beginning jazz, but almost like a beginning course to rudiments as well. It kind of coincides because, like I said, jazz is rudimental. But so for you guys out there who are, you intermediate, you can, bump things up as you see fit, and go that route, but I want to keep it easy going for beginners as well. So right now, we're just going to incorporate that bass drum in on the one, and we're going to try to do that through all the rudiments, everything we're doing on our hands. We want to add that bass drum on the one now. As we progress on, we'll probably shift it around, maybe on the 2 or the 3 or the 4, or multiple times through. We're also going to start introducing our left foot, so that's kind of the stuff that's going to be coming up behind this. But the big thing right now is just getting our right foot going on the one, and you can do this a couple ways. If you're practicing on your kit, you go ahead and you play your bass drum, or you can even just tap your right foot as you're using your pad. I actually have these pedals. You guys saw them in one of my videos in the beginning of this series, towards the beginning when I was doing the feet. I've been meaning to like bring them out and show them, and I think I did in an older video of mine. But they're the Hanson Foots F2s, I believe, and they're pretty good practice pedal because they give you a nice amount of tension both ways with the out of the box tuning method on them, or tightening method. How they're the tightness of the pedal kind of gives your feet a little bit of a workout. So I kind of like to use them as a practice pedal in that sense. But whatever you're using, just make sure you're getting your right foot going on the one is the most important thing here. And like I said, for this, we're going to continue it. I'm thinking we're going to continue this for 2 weeks. And the reason being is because I know I found myself when I first started working on this back in the day. Sometimes you got to slow down your stuff a little bit to make that happen. So if you need to do that, then that's cool, do it. But don't slow down your whole structure and stop everything. Just slow down and work out on the right foot on the one as its own little practice thing, and do that at whatever BPM that you can do it at. The main thing is just making sure you're doing the singles, doubles, triples, paradiddles, and paradiddle diddles. Just get all that down with your right foot on the one and move from there. My thing's getting ready to time out, so I'm going to have to come back yet again. This has been a pretty choppy video. Let me just come back in a second. So, sorry about that. Like I said, with vacation and all, my phone's low, so I guess taking short, choppy videos here. But what I wanted to there was a reason why I said to break off and do if you're slower with the right foot on the one, to kind of break it off into its own thing, and don't worry about, keep moving ahead with your speeds on your regular practice. The reason I said that is because once you kind of get it, the feel of it, you're just going to start going through the rest of the speeds. It's one of those things where it's you just need to kind of let your body get comfortable with the technique. If it doesn't, I mean, like I said, with me, I had to drop my speed down a little bit for a week or so, just to kind of get my feet used to doing it when I first started doing it. But once I did, it just kind of incorporated through, and so once you get it and you get the feel for it, you'll be able to catch right back up to wherever else you are. So that's why I was saying to make sure not to drop your whole routine down and make your whole routine mapped around whether or not you can, get the right foot on the one. And another thing I wanted to take a quick opportunity to talk about is, again, why we're moving slow. I first of all, I'll let you know a little secret. You don't need to be like some kind of a killer rudimental demon with speed to be able to play good or even fast. Like, I got through most of the first 12, 13, actually about 16, 17 years of playing. Um, and I probably couldn't get much further above 100 BPMs on any of my, like paradiddles and stuff like that. Like, single strokes were that was pretty much what I had, and I used them wisely, I guess. But I say this just to say, don't think that everything is going to hinge on you getting some. What the rudiments do is they're gonna help you with the jazz and do the little jazz solos and stuff like that. You're gonna be amazed. But in saying that, you move slow. Like when I first started working on these rudiments again, this is about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm on and off. Like if I'm playing with the band, or writing music or whatever, I'm not really practicing. If I'm doing my own little side projects, I'm not practicing. Like usually what happens is I'll finish doing some kind of work and then I'll be like, okay, I need to focus on practice for a little while. And I'll do it like that. But the reason I say this is because if you move up slowly and surely, you don't keep on sliding back. Like back in the beginning, I would work myself up to some BPM levels and we'd be working on songs, doing shows or whatever. Next thing I know, I get back to it and I'm like, I can't I'm back like 10, 15 beats slower than I was before. But with this method of moving slowly, 5 BPMs outside of your cover, your max, and then just keep straddling the line forward. It sticks with you. So over these years, it's like I haven't had a like backtrack very much as and I haven't practiced, and I was telling you before, I haven't even picked up the sticks in a while. But I mean, let alone practice, it's probably been almost a year since I've practiced again, and I've already moved up 20 BPMs from where I was before. Just like that. I mean, I'm not trying to say that that's I've been playing a long, long time, and so some of those things definitely help. But I just say it as a way to say when you move up slowly and surely and keep climbing, it's gonna stay with you. If you do it the other way, you're gonna keep losing it. So that's about it. We'll see you in a couple weeks. And again, like we're just adding the right foot to the one for this week's lesson. And thanks you guys for spending the time. And we'll be seeing you pretty soon. Thank you.